Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to mix PBR textures. So if we pull up a brick wall. Yeah, so here's a good example. So if you look at this brick wall here, you have your brick texture, but you also have a lot of this concrete here that you might find a PBR texture for, but you'll have no control over where the concrete goes and where the bricks go. The technique I'm going to show you will allow you to bring in both a concrete texture and a brick texture, and then have the control to say, okay, I want some concrete over here and some brick over here. So let's jump in and I'll show you how to do that. So if we go over to our shader editor, first things first, let's add a brick texture to this. It's pretty simple. Just add an image texture, put it here, and plug it into the base color. So I already have my texture downloaded. So I'm going to go to downloads and brick wall. Okay, so now I have this brick texture. Now the magic tool I'm going to show you is called mix color. Okay, so if we look at it here, you can see it has two slots here, and that's where the two textures you're going to mix go, and then you have a factor. That's where you plug in information to tell the texture where to show one texture versus the other. So I'm just going to slip that in there, and it's automatically going to put that in. And you can see the only thing it did is it kind of grayed out our texture. That's because by default, it has our brick wall texture, but it also has this gray texture, and that's what it's mixing with our brick texture. And it doesn't know where to put the brick texture versus the gray texture, so it's just kind of laying the gray texture on top of the brick texture. And so we're going to change that. We're going to copy our brick wall, and put that there, put the color in B, and we're going to change the texture. Again, I already have this downloaded. It's called Rough Plaster. Okay, you can see it kind of did the same thing. You can kind of see the plaster over the brick, but it's basically just on multiply mode over the brick. And so what we need to do is we need to plug something into the factor here. We're going to do that by adding a noise texture. Now, before we actually plug it in, let's pull the factor over to the base color. So this is what the noise texture looks like, just plugged into the color channel. You can see there's gray, there's white. Basically what this is going to do is everywhere that it's black or close to black, it's going to show the plaster, and anywhere it's white, it's going to show the brick wall texture, and anywhere it's gray, it's going to show a mix of the two. And that's not quite what we want. What we want is some really defined areas where the plaster is going to be, and then some really defined areas where the brick's going to be. And so we can sharpen this up a little bit by adding what's called a color ramp node. So if we go over to color ramp, you see it's not doing too much, but if we slide these closer to each other, it sharpens up that noise texture. And you can kind of slide them to where your preference is. That's kind of the definition I'm wanting for my color ramp. And so I'm going to slide this over here and put the color of the color ramp into the factor, and then put the result of the mix node into the base color. And you can see we have spots on our texture where it's just concrete or plaster, and then parts where it's just brick. And I'm going to edit this just a little bit just because I want my concrete to be a little bit more dominant. And there's a lot, you can play with this just until it's about where you want. I'm going to keep it about there. Yeah, so you can kind of see how powerful this is. You can use it for a lot more than just brick textures. And just in case you didn't know, you can use this for all of your channels on your principal BSDF shader. You can use it for roughness, you can use it for bump, you can use it for displacement. Super, super helpful. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe if it helps you. Also, I try and respond in the comments as quickly as possible. If you have any questions, I'll try and get back to you. Thanks. Bye.